Out in the countryside, I, Jasper Kane, run a beat-up old minivan hauling passengers, and let me tell you, it beats the hell out of slaving away in the city. It's not about the money, though I do all right. It's the freedom, the open road, and well, the fact that our little village is crawling with young wives left behind by husbands chasing cash in far-off places. Lonely, lovely women, ripe for the picking. It was past 1 in the morning, and I was deep in a dream. Curled up with Sophia from the next village over, my hands roaming her soft curves, her breath hot against my neck. We were inches from the finish line when my phone jolted me awake. I cursed under my breath as I fumbled for it, the screen glaring in the dark. A woman's voice came through, sharp and panicked, speaking crisp, city-perfect English, not the rough drawl I'm used to around here. "Mr. Kane, my son's burning up. Could you please drive us to the town clinic right now? I'm begging you." Her urgency sliced through my groggy haze, but I wasn't thrilled about it. Middle of the damn night? That's an extra charge for a solo run. "Where you at? I'll head over." I'm Jasper Kane, 30 years old, a bachelor through and through. Dropped out of high school and hightailed it to the city for work, but after years of scraping by, penniless and womanless, I gave up. A year ago, when I couldn't hack it anymore, and Ma started hounding me to come home and settle down, I cashed out my savings, bought a second-hand Chevy van, and rolled back to the village to ferry folks around. Market days are my bread and butter, shuttling people from the rural outskirts to town, 7 miles each way, $5 a head. When I've got the time, I take private gigs too, on call, anywhere, price negotiable. Business is decent. Hustle hard, and I can pull in 5 or 6 grand a month. Beats the city grind by a mile. But the real perk? Ever since I started this gig, my luck with women's turned around. The young wives in these parts, Lord, they're a sight. Prettier than a picture and bold as brass, calling me Jasper, darlin', in voices that melt your bones. They flirt shamelessly, batting lashes and dropping hints that set my blood racing. I'm swimming in a sea of lonely, neglected women, and I've half a mind to skip settling down altogether, driving them around, all dolled up and giggling at my dirty jokes. I feel like a king with his harem. The older ones, the frumpy ones, the crude ones? Not my type. I've got standards. Lately, I've had my eye on Sophia Hayes from the next village over. We go way back, junior high crushes and all that. She ended up marrying some lout who works construction far off, raking in decent money but rarely showing his face. Word is he shacked up with a sight floozy, living cozy while Sophia's stuck here. I've tested the waters with her, and she's game. On market days, she always claims the passenger seat, sneaking me a bag of snacks, chips or candy, saying I need something to munch on since I'm always on the road. I don't charge her a dime, and if she calls, I drop everything to play chauffeur. Just this afternoon, I drove her back from her folks' place. On the way, I pulled over under a quiet old oak, and things heated up fast. My hand slipped under her blouse, her skin soft and springy, pure heaven. With her silent nod, I pushed further, fingers sliding beneath her skirt, exploring that sweet, secret territory. Her eyes went hazy, little moans escaping as she pressed herself closer. I was seconds from sealing the deal when a pack of snot-nosed brats, 7 or 8 years old, popped up at the window, gawking and hollering, "Look, they're doing it in broad daylight." I grabbed a stick from the van to chase them off, but the mood was shot. Sophia straightened her clothes, cheeks flaming, and bolted out, muttering, "Pick me up in a week, Jasper. Take me home after, and I'll cook you something nice." I knew what she meant. My hunger wasn't just for food, but a whole week? Those damn kids had me fuming, just like this woman on the phone now, yanking me from my dream. Grumbling, I threw on a jacket and headed out. She wasn't far, 10, maybe 15 minutes. I was already plotting how much I'd gouge her for this midnight haul. When I pulled up, she was pacing at the village edge, cradling a baby, 3 months old, tops. She was a stunner, pale skin, tall and slim, rocking a black and white striped hoodie and tight jeans, her high ponytail swinging. even fresh off childbirth. She hadn't let herself go like some of the other women around here. She was a knockout, and I hopped out quick to swing the door open. "Get in, sweetheart. Kid's sick. We can't waste time." In the van, I got a better look at her face. She was movie star gorgeous, and that polished city accent made my country twang sound like a rusted saw. No way she was local. "I'm Lillian," she said, voice tight with worry. "Lillian Ward, married to Victor Ward." Victor's name hit me like a brick. I'd heard from a buddy in the city. Victor got nabbed for fencing stolen steel off the job site. Locked up for years now. Word was his family hushed it up, too ashamed to let the village know. Poor bastard didn't deserve a wife this fine. I thought, bitterness creeping in. "Victor's still working in the city," she lied, eyes darting away. "We just moved back to his hometown. I don't know anyone here. Sorry to drag you out so late." I smirked, stealing a glance at her pretty face. "No need to call me Mr. Kane. That's for old men. You're young, darling. Call me Jasper. Anything you need, I've got your back." She murmured a shy Jasper, her soft, proper voice sending a shiver down my spine. Suddenly, I didn't mind the interrupted dream. One bit. I was so distracted I nearly swerved into a ditch, earning a yelp from Lillian as the baby jolted awake, his hoarse cries filling the cab. She fumbled with her hoodie, lifting it to nurse him. No bra, just bare skin. In the dim moonlight and faint glow of the dashboard, I caught a glimpse of creamy perfection, twice the size of Sophia's and dazzling. My jaw damn near hit the floor. She was too frantic to notice my staring, struggling to get the kid to latch. He wouldn't suck, and tears streamed down her face. "Jasper, how far's the town?" "He won't eat. What do I do?" I hate seeing a woman cry, especially one this beautiful. I floored it, and we screeched into the clinic lot. I bolted out, handling registration, and dragging the night doc over while Lillian trailed behind, clutching her son. Everyone assumed I was the dad, and I didn't correct them. The doc's verdict was grim. "Pneumonia. You waited too long. Lucky he's not brain damaged yet. We'll stabilize him, but he needs the county hospital. Pronto." Lillian's legs buckled, and I caught her just in time. The clinic's ambulances were all out, so I barked, "Grab the kid. We're going." The 40-mile haul to the county hospital took 20 minutes on the highway, my knuckles white on the wheel. Lillian was a mess, sobbing and useless, which only made her more pitifully endearing. I handled everything, paperwork, even fronting a few $100 for tests. By dawn, the fever broke, and she insisted on leaving to dodge the hospital bill. The doc warned she'd need to bring the kid back daily for IVs, and she nodded, too broke to argue. In the parking lot, she nearly dropped to her knees. "Jasper, I'm so sorry. This trip, the fees. How much do I owe you? Can I pay you later?" Her eyes welled up again. I knew Victor's mess had bled their savings dry, probably drowning in debt. Compared to her, my little van gig made me a tycoon. Gazing at her face and that chest, I puffed up with gallantry. "Forget it. Kid comes first. Let's get a room nearby. Easier to hit the hospital. I'll stick around." Her eyes widened, disbelief melting into a shy smile. At the motel, I played it noble, offering 2 rooms, but she bit her lip and whispered, "If you don't mind, just 1? 2's too much." Jackpot. The baby, fed and fever-free, conked out on the bed. Lillian darted to the bathroom, and after a while, I heard muffled groans. Worried, I barged in and froze. She'd shed the hoodie, standing topless at the sink, squeezing milk into the basin. The room smelled sweet and heady, and her curves were a vision, bigger, bolder than I'd imagined. She shrieked, covering herself, but it was no use. "Jasper, what are you doing?" "I thought you were hurt," I stammered, unable to peel my eyes away. "What's wrong?" She turned, blushing furiously. "It's blocked. The baby hasn't nursed enough. It hurts so bad, and I can't get it out." "Let me help," I blurted, half meaning it, half drooling. She hesitated, then relented, wincing as I tried, and failed, to ease the pressure. "Maybe the hospital?" I suggested, but her face fell. More money she didn't have. Then her gaze flicked to my lips, and she mumbled, maybe. Another way? Before backtracking, mortified. I got it. Grinning like a fool, I leaned in, and with a few careful sucks, the dam broke. She smacked my back. Spit it out, you idiot. But I kept going until she softened. Relieved, I burped, hands lingering, my own ache growing unbearable. I kissed her. She shoved me off, panting, no, Jasper. I'm married. Victor would kill you. But her breath hitched, her resistance fading. Victor'd been gone 6 months. She had to be starving for it. Victor's locked up for years, I shot back. He won't know squat. Say yes, Lillian, and I'll take care of you and the kid, everything. Her fight dissolved into sobs, arms looping around my neck. Promise no one in the village finds out? Man of my word, I vowed, nodding like a madman. You're mine now, Lillian Ward. Lillian stepped forward, her body soft against mine, and in that moment, everything changed. For 4 straight days, I stayed with her in the county town. By day, we shuttled to the hospital, tending to her sick kid. By night, we tore into each other. At the motel, wild and reckless. It was paradise, pure, unadulterated bliss. When the doc finally gave the boy a clean bill of health, I felt a pang of disappointment. Before we left, I dragged Lillian to the mall and bought her 2 nursing bras. Couldn't stand the thought of those curves bouncing around. For every village jackass to ogle. She looped her arm through mine, her smile so sweet it could stop a heart. Jasper, thank you. You're so good to me. I strutted like a peacock. Jasper Kane, 30 and finally a man with a woman. Let the village gossips choke on that. But on the drive back, Lillian grew quiet, her words halting. Jasper, can we keep this under wraps for now? I frowned. Why? You ashamed of me? I'm not some coward who hides what he wants. I'll take care of you. Count on it. She chewed her lip, spilling her worry after a long pause. It's just, Victor and I haven't finalized the divorce. I've filed, but it's not through yet. If the village finds out, it might look bad for you. I didn't give a damn about my reputation. I'm a bachelor, what's to lose? But I got her angle. She's got Victor's kid, and with the village land slated for government seizure, she and the boy could score a hefty payout, 2 shares, big money. I didn't. Call her out on it. Divorce papers? Sure. Waiting for that cash windfall? That's the real game. I grabbed her hand. Fine. I'll play along. You're mine either way. Don't need a label to prove it. Right then, I genuinely wanted a life with her. Back home, after 4 days off the road, the village wives swarmed me, teasing. Jasper Kane, where you been gallivanting? Too good to. Earn a buck now? Bet he's been chasing some poor gal. Come on, Jasper, spread the love. We've got a whole van full of us waiting. Yeah, we missed you something fierce. I knew their game, big talk, but they're sharp as knives. Want a piece of me? Better cough up more than. Flirty giggles. Lillian's different. Few $100 in medical bills and a couple free rides, and she's mine. Well, her and Sophia. That old thrill of juggling women crept back. Lillian keeping us quiet works out fine. Once her payout hits, we'll tie the knot. No financial strain. Meanwhile, I'm still a free man, flirting with the village pack. Who's gonna stop me? Thinking of Sophia. I realized she'd be back from her folks soon. I shot her a text. Her reply came fast, a furious voice message. You rotten bastard, Jasper. Now you remember me? I called you days ago. Why'd your phone keep dying? Where the hell were you? She sounded like a wife grilling her cheating man, and damn if I didn't eat it up. During my time with Lillian, I'd shut my phone off to dodge the constant ride requests. I growled back, knowing she loves the rough edges. Quit your yapping, woman. Had family stuff in the city. Phone got swiped. What? You aching for me already? Can't wait. Huh? I'll swing by tonight. That evening, I ditched a slew of bookings and drove solo to Sophia's folks' place. She loaded me up with homemade goodies, sausage, smoked bacon, and climbed in, grinning. Smell good? Sophia's the opposite of Lillian, where Lillian's a delicate flower, soft-spoken, refined. Sophia's a firecracker, bold and brassy. No kids after years of marriage, still built like a young vixen. She'd tag along with her husband to the city sometimes, picking up urban flair. Truth is, I wanted them both. I tossed the haul in the back, pulled her close and growled, "You smell better. I'm starving for you." Under the cover of night, she was bolder than last time, giggling as her hand darted to my crotch. "Let's go. To my place. I'm alone. Eat your fill." Lillian slipped my mind entirely. Sophia's a wild rose on a cliff, fiery, intoxicating, while Lillian's a water lily, subtle and lingering. I couldn't pick. I wanted it all. From then on, I bounced between them. Lillian's gentle nights, Sophia's blazing days, sprinkling in a few roadside flings for variety. Life peaked. I stopped pushing Lillian to go public or marry. Why mess with perfection? Then came the crash. One market day, both climbed aboard my van, headed to town. I was done for. Lillian got on first, naturally taking shotgun. I copped a quick feel, grinning as she blushed. "Knock it off, Jasper. People might see. If you're desperate, I'll sneak over. Tonight after the kids asleep. My place is just me and Ma, who's always nagging me to settle down." The village girls left behind? None match Lillian or Sophia, either. Too plain or long gone to college or city jobs. I quit hiding Lillian from Ma. She'd slip in after dark, shy about her not-yet-divorced status. Ma griped at first Lillian's. Baggage was my burden, but softened eventually. "Jasper, if you're set on her, get that divorce finalized and marry her. Give me a grandkid. I'd sleep easier." I nodded, but my heart wavered. Sophia still had a hold on me. She'd been off visiting her husband for a month or two, leaving me glued to Lillian, feelings deepening. I figured I'd sort things with Sophia when she got back. Big mistake. She'd rolled in the night before, now waiting roadside for my ride. I spotted her from afar, panic clawing my gut. I'd always kept them apart. Sophia rides, Lillian waits. Lillian's sweet, never argues when I say the van's full. Today, fate screwed me. Too late to turn back, I pulled over. Sweating bullets. Sophia, fearless as ever, stormed up, hands on hips. "Get out, that's my seat. Jasper, guess what treat I brought you." She shoved a piece of durian jerky in my mouth before I could blink. I choked, trapped. The passengers hooted. "Sophia, fresh off your man and already stirring trouble? You and Jasper got something going. Shotgun's hers whenever she's around." I don't know what went down with her husband, but she dropped all pretense. Damn right. Once I ditch him, I'm marrying Jasper. Riding shotgun, collecting fares. Let's see any of you tramps try him then. Chaos erupted. I froze, face white, glancing at Lillian. Words failed me. I wanted to deny Sophia, but who'd buy it? Lillian snapped out of her daze and lost it, screaming, pounding me, sinking her teeth into my arm until blood welled. "You lying sack of shit. Jasper, you swore you'd take care of us, marry me. What's she doing here?" It was all a scam to sleep with me. Guilt stung. I'd meant those promises, at least sometimes. I tried to hold her. "Lillian, listen. It's not what you think with Sophia." That lit the fuse. She bit me again, agony searing as I tumbled out of the driver's seat, clutching my arm in the grass, teeth marks oozing red. Sophia caught on, charging over and yanking Lillian from the van by her hair. "You filthy slut, stealing my man. I'll rip you apart." They went feral, clawing, tearing clothes, until they were down to bras, rolling into a muddy rice paddy. The crowd egged them on, filming it all. Fight. Winner gets Jasper. I dropped to my knees, begging, "For God's sake, stop." They paused, then turned on me, dragging me into the muck and beating me senseless. I'd never been so humiliated. Days later, Lillian vanished, kid in tow, no goodbye, even forfeiting her land payout. Victor's family likely snatched it back. Sophia divorced her husband and hounded me to marry her, claiming I ruined her. Turns out she'd slept her way through half the village. I wouldn't touch that mess. I hid, barely driving anymore. The patty brawl hit TikTok, and I became a local pariah. No one rode with me, unless desperate, fearing I'd corrupt their wives. Income tanked, whispers followed me, and the women who once flocked now sneered. I couldn't stay. I took my van to the city, snagged a supermarket delivery gig, low pay, no adoring crowd. It's a bitter life, but I brought it on myself. Who's to blame? I still think of Lillian. Wonder where she landed. I really did want to provide for her and that boy. The end.